Newstalk KGVO 1290 and 101.5 FM. It's time for the Last Best Beer Show with your host, Ryan Newhouse.
This is Ryan Newhouse in the Last Best Beer Show, and I'm joined this week by Spokes Mobile Canning out of Spokane, Washington. And this is owned by Abby Spear and Amanda Mead. So I've got Abby on the line with me. Abby, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Great. So tell me and our listeners what Spokes Mobile Canning is, what you do.
So Spokes Mobile Canning is a packaging solution for small to mid-sized breweries or emergency services for breweries that already package their product.
Okay.
If they say something happens with their canning line and they need to fulfill a deadline or something with their distributors, we can come in and help can for them in an emergency situation. So basically what we do is we have a canning line that we drive around to different breweries all around Washington, northern Idaho, and Montana.
And you pull that, it's in a big trailer, right? Big, huge trailer?
Yes, an 18-foot enclosed trailer. It's where all of our equipment lives. And whenever we get to our destination, everything comes out of the trailer, and we roll it as close to the bright tank as we possibly can and hook up and can beer. So we're like that hidden mystery of we show up, do our business, and then leave. It's like we were never there, but you've got 100 cases of beer to sell.
You know, just because we're in the holiday season, I'm going to liken you guys to Santa Claus, really, right? You're leaving presents, canned beer.
What's that?
I'm going to liken you to being Santa Claus, since you show up and then you leave.
Like Santa Claus for packaging beer, yeah.
There you go. Awesome. There. Now, your business partner, Amanda, has some connection to Montana. Is that right?
Yeah, she is from Montana. She was born and raised in northeast Montana, up near Canada and North Dakota.
Okay.
Kind of the no man's land.
Yep.
We've got some ties to Montana in that sense. You know, we lived there for a while, and we still love that place. So
yeah.
We love the beer that comes out of that state. We
do too. That's what it's about. Now, speaking of Montana beer, because I've seen you guys several times in Missoula and other places, but you actually do service and can some of the Montana beers that are made here. So you want to name drop a little bit?
Yeah, actually, two of our clients that we have are in Great Falls. We can for Mighty Mo Brewing. We've been canning with them for about a year. And then Black Eagle Brewing, who just started up. They're a fairly new brewery, but we've canned with them twice already, and we're going to be back over that way in actually just like 2 weeks to can some more beer with those guys.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so we've been over there probably about once a month with both of those breweries. We've been talking to the guys up at Hot Homestead Ales.
HA Brewing in Eureka.
Yes, they're awesome guys, and their beer is fantastic as well. And then we've also been kind of in touch with the guys over at Draftworks as well. So
excellent.
Yeah.
They are very excited. They actually are just announced here on the Last Best Beer Show that they will be canning in 2016. So they're very excited for that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is great news to hear.
Yes, isn't it? For all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Very good. And so going back for Mighty Mo Brewing, do you have a special can that you use for them?
Actually, with Black Eagle and with Mighty Mo, both of them use our shrink sleeve can. So it's not a printed can.
Okay.
It's not a pressure-sensitive can. It's like a plastic wrap that goes over the can before it's filled, like a plastic label that goes around the can, and it goes through a heat tunnel and shrinks onto the can as it looks like a printed can. They're actually super nice.
And they're very cost effective for you and the breweries, right? Because they don't have to order pre-printed cans. They can just order the labels.
It's actually a lot easier, a lot more feasible to do, especially now with the can situation, to do a shrink sleeve can versus a printed can, because you can do a smaller run of labels and you can do multiple styles. So you can change the label up as you want if you're in like the middle of doing stuff without any big hitches. So that makes it really nice.
Very cool. Well, we talk a lot about the popularity of canned beers, and certainly in Montana, from a recreation standpoint, to be able to bring beer out with you on the rivers or backpacking. But I guess, honestly, we could have a little bit too much of a good thing. And so I've been reading here most recently on Forbes.com and also in relation to the possible merger between InBev and Miller Coors, that maybe down the line we might look at a shortage in cans, and I don't know if you could speak to that.
Yeah, actually, we are experiencing that right now in the industry. Cans have become popular all across the United States, and there's only so many manufacturers and so much that they can set aside for the craft industry. Crown Pork and Seal, who we work with, that's who we source our cans through, and that's who we always recommend. They've always been pretty good with the craft industry. Mm-hmm. They're not accepting any new clients for new artwork for next year.
Wow,
so,
at all. Yeah,
so that's huge. They've kind of oversold their stock, and they're committed to the bigger guys. They've got bigger commitments with them. So.
Yeah. So Crown is one of the can suppliers, right? And then there's another couple too, Wrexham and Ball, and they're actually just announced a merger according to Forbes here.
Yes, that I hadn't confirmed, but I had heard through the grapevine that they would be merging as well. And I know that Ball is not accepting new clients, new artwork for the first quarter of next year. I know Wrexham wasn't as well. So there's a lot going on with it, and that's kind of the one nice thing about our situation is that we already have cans. We just have blank cans that will get sleeved, so there's no shortage. We did have a bit of a hiccup. There was a bit of a lag in receiving what we needed, so we kind of oversold our stock as well, but that has been worked out.
Excellent.
So we're back on track for all of our timelines, and hopefully it stays that way. It was a big headache, that's for sure. Right. But it was a headache for us, headache for our clients, and anybody else that was possibly coming on. It just delayed things a bit. But yeah. We've gotten it all sorted out, which is wonderful.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm sure everybody appreciates the perseverance. And so that's the best way to do it. If you have blank cans, obviously you can print labels on demand. And so it seems like you've got a good business model to work with there to encounter or confront this possible shortage. Is there any difference between 12-ounce cans and 16-ounce cans in terms of shortage, or and then I'll open it up. Do you recommend one size over another for these breweries that are getting started in canning?
16-ounce cans are actually where there was the biggest issue, and that's because there's only two with Crown, I should say, and there's been, I think, the biggest demand for 16s, and that kind of separates I think why a lot of people choose them is because it'll separate them from from the big guys, where you look at a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans versus like a 6-pack. Me personally, I like a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans, but
sure,
everybody's open to their own opinions. But that's been the biggest upset, I guess, would be within 16-ounce cans. There's only two factories that manufacture those in the United States. Okay. Through Crown, and then I think for 12-ounce cans, they've got like six factories that manufacture 12-ounce cans, so they can produce a lot more of those than they can 16s at this moment. Okay. So I don't know. I always leave it up to whoever is getting ready to go into package, whatever their idea is. Everybody's got their idea of where they want their product to go and how it will sell best. But I think 12-ounce cans, that's the one that I would recommend, just because of ease of access and, I don't know, my own personal appeal, I guess.
Sure. Well, you're in the industry. You've seen it, and you know what's best. Talk about your canning line for just a second. How many cans per minute can you work?
Sure. So we run a 4-head Wild Goose canning line. It's the MC250. It's an awesome machine. We can bust out about 30, I think at most about 36 to 38 cans a minute, depending on, if we're under perfect conditions, which doesn't always happen, but that's okay.
Right.
But we typically run at about 36 cans a minute on that. So
36 a minute.
36 cans a minute. Yeah, so a little over about a case and a half a minute, a case and a quarter a minute.
Excellent. Well, that's more than people can drink. So you're on the best end of that equation, right?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Well, Abby, thanks so much for spending some time with us today. And if there are any breweries out there that are listening, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you and talk about canning?
Sure. Best way to get in touch with us is to shoot us an email at spokesmobilecanning@gmail.com or visit our website at spokesmobilecanning.com.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll also put up a link at the Last Best Beer radio show on Facebook. You can find us there. So enjoy, and we look forward to catching up with you on your next trip through Missoula.
Yeah, for sure.
Love craft beer and want to learn how to brew your own? Take this online course to get insider tips from Montana brewers and top secret recipes for local favorites.
And we are back. It's the Last Best Beer Show. I'm Shireen Herrera, and this is your host, Ryan Newhouse, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Oh, I feel like a winner.
Price is right. Yes. Come on down.
I do. Man, thanks. I always feel like a winner when I'm on this show.
Well, we're talking about beer. How can you not be winning?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I always, I do. I guess I have a fortunate life to be able to enjoy such good beer all the time.
We're drinking beer, sipping beer, talking beer. You're hanging out with beer.
Yes. It's kind of fun.
You should marry beer.
Oh, that's right. If you like it so much, why don't you marry it? I think my 8-year-old told me that joke before. So.
I'm going down just a little bit.
All right. Okay. Well, let's broaden the topic a little bit. Let's talk a little about food. I found an article that's going to be posted on our Facebook that is titled "The World's Wildest Potato Chip Flavors." Now, the ones that I found in this article, they were like 25, I think, that they found. But I pulled out a few. I don't know. What you want to take any guesses of some of the wild and crazy ones that are out there?
Pork butt.
Oh, they're
pork
close.
butt potato chip.
There were
a
some
bacon potato chip.
These were a little crazier. So we're talking. I'll give you an entry level one of what we're
dealing with here. Okay.
Yeah, we're going down.
All right.
One of them is borscht. You know what borscht is?
German?
Russian.
Russian, okay.
Russian beet soup.
All right.
Red beet soup.
I'm going for a bouillabaisse and potato chip next.
There you go. And you can find those ones at supermarkets in like Hong Kong. They're really popular. So these are like not just your typical American, Frito-Lays. We're finding these from all over the world. This one you might actually try. If it's not biscuits and gravy, you might like this one.
Sushi.
Oh,
a sushi chip.
They have a nori. I did see that on the list.
Okay.
The nori seaweed,
right.
Which I love. I buy that stuff at Costco.
Yeah. I might eat
good.
that though.
This one is produced by Mackey's of Scotland, and they have other potato chip flavors, including venison and cranberry roast ham. There's your pork butt, and haggis and cracked pepper. But the one that I think you might like is Mackey's whiskey and haggis.
Oh, haggis. I hate haggis, but I love whiskey.
Yes. See if you can get both of those complex flavors in a single chip. Isn't that crazy?
No, I mean, I would never even think, but the whiskey chips, I'm all about that.
That'd be good. The two that I really want to try, though, that I found on this is one made by Burt's Chips, and it's sold under the brand of beer that I'm going to tell. It is Guinness potato chips. And these chips actually have cocoa powder, powdered milk, and barley malt extract. And they say it really does taste like that famous stout.
Does it have any alcohol content in it?
It does not.
Oh, well.
It does not, unfortunately.
No good.
Similarly, do you know what Marmite is? You ever heard of Marmite?
No.
It's like, have you heard of Vegemite?
Yes.
Okay. Marmite is very similar. And there is a company that is making Marmite flavored potato chips, which is kind of crazy. So Marmite is the flavor is what they describe as umami. So it's sort of like another taste. It's
another sushi type, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, meats and proteins have it. But Marmite was founded or discovered by a German scientist in the 1800s because when you brew beer, you have all of this yeast sediment, byproduct of yeast sediment. And he found that if you kind of compressed it down, squeezed it out, maybe did some filtration, but the stuff that was left over was a paste, and it was actually kind of good for you, and you can eat it. And they put it in earthenware jars, which actually you can. The name of the jar is now also called Marmite. It's a style of container. And yeah, so Marmite potato chips are a thing. Marmite has always been a thing.
So it's just like a yeast potato chip?
Yes, yeast potato chip. There you go.
Interesting.
Delicious.
Yeah.
They did do, in 2007, this company did a special edition, or actually the makers of Marmite did a special edition of Marmite with Guinness, and they actually did 30% of Guinness yeast extract to add that in there as well. So
I've heard of people eating yeast on stuff, just like, sprinkling it and stuff. For things.
There's nutritional yeast.
Yeah.
I did that with my kids too.
Yeah.
Put it on tofu.
Yeah.
A little bit different, but you can buy Marmite or Vegemite in several local stores. I'd imagine you check it down at Warden's or good food store.
Well, you just got your lesson in life, folks, from Ryan Newhouse.
Oh, I tell you.
Fun facts to impress your friends with right there.
That's right. Lots and lots of useless knowledge. So I try to bring something to the table every week, and I appreciate your patience in hearing it. Good. Well, let's keep going. As you know, with the Last Best Beer show every week, I like to talk a little bit about beer and food. And this week's guest I have is Alex Frigerio, owner of Taste Buds Kitchen in Missoula. He owns it with his wife, Christine. Alex, thank you for coming down to the studio today.
Hey, thanks for having me today. Glad to be here.
So why don't you tell our listeners, one, where Taste Buds Kitchen is downtown, and a little bit about what you do there.
So we're located at 131 East Main. We're just a block off of Higgins, a couple blocks down from the library. Mm-hmm. And you can't miss us. We have a big green awning outside. And what we do is we offer cooking classes for kids and adults, starting at age 2 and then all the way up to age 99. And we offer a ton of different types of events and classes and camps and all sorts of things. And we do cooking classes that are meant to be a great learning experience for both the kids and the adults, but most of all, they're meant to be fun.
Excellent. Now, I can speak from personal experience. My 8-year-old daughter did a summer camp there this summer, and she has been cooking lots of great treats from that. She actually did a couple, and you did a fantastic job.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the idea. We send them home, and they continue cooking when they get there.
So let's talk about, you do a lot of classes all year long, and you don't just do summer camps, you do winter camps as well. And then I guess, have you yet had any beer and food cooking classes yet? Is that something that you'd think about?
Yeah, it's definitely something that's on our radar. We haven't done any cooking with beer classes just yet, but it's something we're definitely going to do in the future. We've thrown the idea around with a lot of different people, and we'll definitely be offering some events in the future where we're cooking with beer. Mm-hmm. And all of our adult classes are always BYOB as well. So even though we don't cook with beer, we have a lot of beer in our kitchen.
So yes, BYOB, bring your own. Sign up and maybe run down to the dram shop and fill a half growler and bring it down with you.
Yeah, anytime somebody walks in empty-handed, that's where I send them.
Excellent. Well, what do you, just your opinion, because you're obviously food-centered, but what are some of the pros to having beer in a food or part of the recipe? I don't know, this seems to be a growing trend, different ways that people can get creative, but is there anything that you can think of that is an appeal to find ways to put more beer into food and recipes?
Yeah, definitely. Flavor is the biggest advantage of it. With the craft beer market here that we have in Missoula, you have so many different choices of beer and so many great flavors. And by adding those and incorporating them into your recipes, you get those great flavors in your recipes as well. So it's a really easy way to experiment while you're cooking and add different flavors and have fun drinking beer while you're doing it.
I love it. I read a quote this week that said, I often cook with wine, and sometimes I even put it in the food. So it's sort of like you've got it out there, you open up a bottle, you got to save some for the recipe, but really it's just about having a glass of beer while you're putting together your recipe. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Alex, thank you so much for coming down. And again, just tell us one more time where people can find you online and in person. so they know how to sign up for these classes that you're offering?
Yeah, online we're at tastebudskitchen.com/Missoula, and all of our classes are always listed on there: adult classes, kids classes, the camps. And you can always go to our Facebook page too and like our Facebook page, and then we post on that a couple times a week with whatever we have coming up. And you can always call our kitchen as well at 616-BUDS.
And that's going to do it for this week's Last Best Beer Show. And again, I want to leave you with a save the date here. It's coming up really fast, about a week and a half away. March 23rd, it's a Wednesday. We're going to do Business and Brews again at the Grotto. So stay tuned to our Facebook page. We're going to give you all the details about a fascinating, lovely presentation that is going to be happening down there, and the excellent beer that we're going to be having as well. Really appreciate Tim France of Warden's Market and Deli for putting on this month's show and gathering and social gathering and all the fun stuff that Business and Brews is. So, Missoula, thanks so much. Tune in next week, Friday at 10, Saturday at 7 p.m., and we'll be back. Until then, I say cheers.
Love craft beer and want to learn how to brew your own? Take this online course to get insider tips from Montana brewers and top secret recipes for local favorites.